I do Motivation Mondays and play motivational videos, but it doesn't seem to have a lasting impact. How do you get your kids motivated to learn and do their work, especially when the kids that don't want to do it? Okay, so I've actually had this question asked to me before, and I love this question so much because this is game changer. If there's like one question out of all these questions, I think this might be the most important one for any teacher out there that does want to implement mindset into their teaching practice. This is the most important thing you really have to understand, where you have to reverse engineer what your students want and what your students desire and what your students need, which is why I do the dream cloud. So when I understand what my students want, for example, I'm just thinking about kids specifically, like a kid says that they want to be in the NBA, and I can use that to reverse engineer my students to motivate them. And I'll break that down in a second. So if you're playing these motivational videos and it's not really working, it's probably because you're not really building a connection between the message of the actual video and with yourself and with your students. So for example, my students know my purpose in life because I tell them, my purpose in life is to inspire you to live your dreams. I want you to grow up one day and be happy and do what you love and have confidence in that and trust your intuition that you can go out there and live the best life possible. That's my purpose, to help you. So when I do this Mindset Monday, or if I do motivational videos, or if I do motivational speeches, my intention is to really help you because I know what it's like to be in your shoes. I know what it's like to not have any support. I know what it's like to have my dreams crushed. I know what it's like to even have loving parents that want the best for me, but they still don't understand what I really want in life. So I kind of share my story with them and they know where I'm coming from. And on top of that, I just get really deep into it where I share personal stories. During my Mindset Monday, and even some kids call it Motivational Monday because they think it's motivational. So that sometimes they even say Motivational Monday. But that stuff comes from real experience and real stories. When I talk about like the lowest point in my life, when I was 21 years old, I dropped out of college because I realized I was taking the wrong classes, so I had to drop out. I was basically forced to because I couldn't transfer classes. It was too late, so I had to take a semester off just for like technical reasons, right? It wasn't anything bad. It was just like, oh, I signed up for the wrong classes. It's too late to switch. In order to get a full refund, I have to drop out. No, just pick it up in the spring. So during that time, also my girlfriend broke up with me, which was heartbreaking because I was just a really bad boyfriend, and I was like, dang, you know what, I deserved it. On top of that, I got fired from my job because I was delivering food and I really didn't like it that much. So I just didn't work that hard, and I got fired for it because I basically wanted this one day off, and my boss, wouldn't give me the day off. So I just didn't show up, and he fired me for it. Respectfully so. I mean, like, hey, he told me to come in. I was like, no, and I didn't, so he fired me. And then another thing was I lost all my money at this time. Like, I just turned 21 and I'm really big into blackjack and playing poker and all that stuff. So I went to the casino and I won about $20,000 and I felt like I was on top of the world. And within like a matter of minutes, I lost all of it. I'm talking about like every single penny to my name. So not only did I drop out of college and my girlfriend just dumped me, and I just lost every single penny to my name, and now I have no job. Like, that all happened within a time frame of like 2 weeks. Like, I remember laying in my bed crying, just being like, what the heck is going on in my life? Like, I'm such a loser. Like, there's no way like this is happening to me. And that low point in my life really motivated me to become the best person I could be, because this is also around the same time I started taking personal development really serious. Like, this was very, very early in those stages. Like, this was maybe like 3 or 4 weeks into like me becoming like a teacher. Like, I just realized I wanted to become a teacher during this time frame, and then once I realized I wanted to be a teacher, like, I just started reading some books, and then boom, everything happened. So that motivated me to take personal development even to a higher level, because I'm like, all right, I just hit rock bottom. I really need to get my life together. I'm going to read every book possible on how to turn my life around. And I did, because the following few months, what happened was I went back to college because the semester was over. So like spring came around and I got straight A's that semester, like a 4.0 GPA, all A's in every single class. I got scholarships from that. I ended up playing sports at the collegiate level. On top of that, I ended up finding like a new girl that like we built a relationship with, and I got a new job, and that job was a very life-changing job where I was a companion for somebody else. So I'll never forget her. Her name is Rashida, and she was at Matheny Hospital, and it's actually educational school for the disabled, and I was a companion for her, and she just changed my perspective on life. I should actually do a podcast about that in general, because that's like a huge life-changing moment for me, but because it really changed the way I saw the world. But I realized like just so many amazing things happened where after that low point, it was nothing but upside from there. And when I share that personal stuff with my students, they can relate, and anytime they struggle through stuff, I can kind of just connect with them and motivate them to do their work. So I know I went off topic just a little bit, but there's a reason why I'm sharing that, because going back to the kid that maybe wants to go to the NBA, if I do an assignment, it's like, okay guys, I just taught a lesson, now we have 10 minutes to get some work done. Let's say we're trying to learn about equations, and maybe I give them a worksheet because they just need to practice it. Even though I do fun games and activities and stuff, sometimes you just need to like drill and practice a little bit as well. So I'm like, all right, quick 10 minutes, let's just practice some equations. And this kid does one problem in like 3 minutes. I'm like, dude, how did you do one problem in 3 minutes? Like, I'm watching you, you're talking, you're goofing around, you're not focused, you're making excuses. Every time I come around, it's like, come on, let's go, let's focus. You're like, it's too hot, or I'm too tired, I don't feel like doing this. You complain, you whine, and you make excuses. And I'll just kind of look them in the eye, and I'll call them out on their BS. Like, listen, you want to go to the NBA. Do you realize that there are a million other kids that want to go to the NBA too? Do you realize just in this classroom alone, there are 3 other kids in this class that also want to go to the NBA. And one of them is your friend. So now you're competing against your friend to get to the NBA, which is very, very hard. And not only that, there are other kids within your grade that want to go to the NBA. Not only your grade, the grade above you and the grade below you, and not only this school, but other schools in your town, in this entire school district. So that's like 100 kids right there. Now you expand to New Jersey. You realize in New Jersey, there are probably like 1,000 other schools where like 20,000 other kids want to go to the NBA. And that's just this state alone. That's just New Jersey. Now think about all the other states in America, all these other kids and all these other schools that want to go to the NBA. And you think you're going to go to the NBA with your lazy work ethic where you only do one math problem within 3 minutes? It's not about the math. I could care less about the math. I care about the big picture. If you want to go to the NBA, you got to develop an incredible work ethic. Look at LeBron James. He thinks, eats, and sleeps NBA and basketball every single day. Michael Jordan, nothing but basketball. Look at Tom Brady. He wakes up and he studies film in the middle of July when it's not even football season. That's why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the world, because he has an incredible work ethic. But they do that not just, and then the kid might respond like, no, but Mr. B, you don't understand, like, this is math. Like, I work really hard when I play basketball, when it's practice. Like, no, you don't understand. All those people, they have that work ethic and they have that drive in all areas of life. Not just one area, in all areas. And that's what you need to understand. It isn't just about doing the math problem and doing these equations. You need to realize that you are developing a good habit, an incredible work ethic where you can implement this work ethic into your sports and into your dreams. Because think about it, you just told me, Mr. B, I don't feel like doing this. Like, how is this going to help me in life? Like, I'm tired, I'm hot, like, blah, blah, and you're whining and complaining. Do you think you want to wake up at 4 a.m. and lift weights for 2 hours at the gym? No. These athletes even say it themselves. Go look it up on Google. Go look it up on YouTube. LeBron James would even be like, you know what? Like, I really didn't feel like working out this day, but I just built such a good habit in my mind and in my life, in my lifestyle, where I wake up and I'll go to the gym even when I don't feel like working out, because I know that if I let my emotions control my actions, I'll never reach greatness. You can't let your emotions control your actions. So like having that real deep conversation with that kid, it actually motivates them, because I'm not making it about the math work. I'm making it about their wants and desires and their dreams and their needs. I'm saying, listen, I'm just trying to help you get to the NBA. And you may not see it now, but take my advice and trust me on this. work hard on this math problem, work hard on this assignment for 10 minutes, bro. And you just wasted 3 minutes, so you got 7 more minutes. Just work hard, and then you can play hard. Stay focused and grind. And don't blame other people. Don't be like, well, that kid's not focused. Don't worry about him. Worry about you. What? Because like you see your teammates going out and hanging out by the pool when you want to practice at the gym, but they're hanging out by the pool, they're going to the beach, and they're not putting in time to practice and work on their shot, work on their jumper, working on their dribbling skills, working on their conditioning. They're not focused, but you're going to let that negativity affect you. So now you're blaming others for your own failures. You gotta realize it's about you. So that's how I really motivate my kids in a way. I just reverse engineer every single individual student, and they're all different. I approach students differently. I don't approach every student like that because, you know, everyone's different. But that's just one example of how I motivate them. And you also have to be aware that it's a long-term process. It doesn't happen overnight, but sometimes you see it in short term or like in short bursts. And that's why I consistently do that. I've built a culture in my classroom where it's just like constant motivation, because let's face it, all of us need motivation from time to time. But what's really amazing is when you can build that intrinsic motivation, which is what I try to do with the mindset. I try to build inwards with them to make them motivate themselves. So I'm just there to like coach them and guide them. Man, I'm loving these questions. I'm fired up. I'm just like rolling. So let's see what else we got. How do you stay positive when you are focused to work with such a negative teacher? Whew.